Straight off the bat, the host from Rob. I'm so surprised.
Whoosh!
Welcome to a special edition of the show with no name. Today we have some special guests. Guests, introduce yourselves.
I'm Carson, co-founder and software engineer of Innuendo Squad Studios.
I am Bo, and I do art for him, the guy that just spoke before me.
So these guys are developing a game called Aegis, and we have shanghaied them here tonight. Shanghaied their Sunday evening to discuss what it's like to develop a game in an indie studio, and to bring to all of you the world of indie game studio development stuff. Hey, look, it's Rob's face, and it's also Jeet's face. So I apologize, guys. This was kind of a last-minute thing. I didn't really have the time to spin up a perfect layout for everybody. So y'all are gonna have to look at Jeet and Rob's face on the same cam, and then the avatars of the gentlemen that we are interviewing tonight. So you'll just have to imagine them being here in virtual space. All right. So now that everybody knows who everybody is, obviously I'm Fiona Fox. That over there is the rest of them. Hey, we're being hosted by Innuendo Squad. Always nice. And these are the guys from Innuendo Squad. So I got a chance to play your game a little bit. It's actually pretty fun. It's a top-down mech game.
Yep.
You guys are using Unity as your primary dev app set, right?
Yeah, Unity. Just simply because Jordan and I who are the main software engineers. That's just what we're most comfortable with. Like, we both have lots of experience with Java and C#, but we didn't really think that it was typically worth it to make like our own engine or something like that, or try to learn a new engine. And we figured, Aegis is a pretty small game, so let's just do it in Unity.
Cool. I think working with Unity, I know a lot of developers working with the Unity stuff. So did you guys have a lot of previous experience with Unity?
Yeah, I started making games back when I was in grade 11, but that was in like Visual Studio and stuff like that. Right after that, I started using Unity, and really haven't used any other game engine since. I've dabbled with things like Godot and GameMaker, but that's about it.
Cool. So you started really early, which is always
Yep.
exciting for a developer. So what got you? I mean, have you always been a gamer? Have you always been interested in video games? Has it like been your hobby for your whole life, or what got you started?
Is that directed specifically at me or Bo too?
Well, why don't you go first, then Bo can come in afterwards. Bo, you said you're doing principal art, right?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Unity. I don't know anything about programming. I just do the pretty pictures.
Well, games don't exist without pretty pictures, so... If I told you how much trouble I've been having to find an artist to actually do who actually works lately... Believe me, good artists are hard to find!
Well, there's a huge divide between artists and programmers, because it seems like programmers can't find artists and artists can't find programmers, and it's just like this terrible thing.
$1 million idea. Someone should set up an exchange.
Meet your needed streamer or meet your needed programmer site.
Well, it's to be like an exchange, like a local exchange, where you could have artists that said, "Hey, here's what I can do." So tell me a little bit about your art, Bo. To the art style, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, kind of changes a lot, as I'm still pretty. I consider myself still an amateur. This is my first video game project, aside from my own experience in the 11th grade, which was about 10 years prior to Carson's 11th grade. But yeah, I mean, my style, I kind of like grungy, gritty stuff. I grew up playing Magic cards, StarCraft, all those sort of games. Like, those are my primary influences. So when these guys wanted me to start making some art for the game, I just tried to channel that into something feasible in 2 dimensions. Yeah.
Nice. I like the art style of the game. It's very kind of post-apocalyptic is not the word, but it's really gritty. Like, I like the sort of gritty feel of it, and like the way it sort of feels like. Just it reminds me of like sort of top-down style games that you would play, like kind of StarCrafty, sort of almost a little bit, I guess. But it's real-time combat, so it's not really like there's no like unit management. But I definitely like the art style that goes with it. Did you guys have an initial idea of art style going in, or did you just kind of make it up as you went through, Bo?
I kind of just made it up as I went through and did like just kind of a process of trial and error, kind of trying to make things that look cool, but also that were readable, like something that you could understand what everything was. I actually had a lot of trouble with. I never thought about how hard a pure top-down art style would be until you try to make buildings look different when they're all covered with snow. Because if you can imagine, if you're doing industrial buildings like there are, or commercial style apartment buildings, as there are many in the game, trying to get them to stand out from one another and still look like the things that they are, with like only a pure 2D perspective without the slight angle that you have in most top-down games. Yeah, it was quite the challenge.
Yeah, I gotta say that the art style, the way you're distinguishing the building is definitely something that something I have not seen before. It's and obviously portraying depth in a top-down game is one of the most difficult things to do. Because you don't have the advantage of 3 dimensions, so you really have done a good job of portraying depth in the backgrounds and the environments.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It was it drove me a little bit crazy at times trying to make things look the way I wanted them to and actually, execute. So.
Have you guys by decision made or like by just random size, are you laying out all the tiles yourself, or are you going to be generating kind of random terrain and tiles as you go?
Carson, I think that must be...
The map is entirely randomly generated. The tiles in the background are random, the buildings are random, the item spawns are random.
So when you say roguelike, you really mean roguelite then, because everything is random.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The only thing that isn't random is the placement of the enemy bases, and we wanted it so that no matter what, the enemy bases are placed in all 8 degrees around the player's base, so that the player could basically be like, I'm going to walk northeast, and they'll run into an enemy base. North, run into an enemy base. South, enemy base. Those are the only things that are static throughout the game. Everything else.
Excellent. That's really cool. So where'd you come up with the idea for Aegis?
Aegis is actually, it was dumbed down from a game idea that was in itself dumbed down from another game idea. So that's the biggest problem with Aegis, is that it was like so shortened with scope. For the original idea was essentially you're still a mech pilot on like this flotilla that's like the last of your races or something. There's like a galactic catastrophic event, and on this flotilla there's like a crap ton of portals that go to different planets, and you have to collect resources and like do different missions and stuff on the different planets. Imagine like did you ever play Starbound?
Yeah, I played a little Starbound. Not a ton, but I've played a little bit of it.
Okay, so it's like if the ship that you had was a little bit more like large and manageable, then you'd go to planets in a similar way that you would Starbound, except it would be a little bit more handcrafted, as opposed to just the random planets in Starbound.
I haven't checked in on Starbound in like a really, really long time.
Neither have I, but it's sort of that same idea where you just kind of go planet to planet.
So there will be more than one planet. I only got a chance to play about 40 minutes or so, and I was kind of just sticking my feet in.
Aegis itself it's only on one map. There's that's it. Like
okay.
There's the one map with the snow and stuff like that, and that's all we got, because it's a $3 game. It's pretty small. The original idea had a crap ton more stuff though.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having your very first game kind of be a little bit of a a bit less fleshed out and featured than you originally wanted it to be. Simplicity is absolutely the way to go when getting started with game development, and that's something that I've heard in my former role in a former life. I interviewed a lot of different game developers, and the universal wisdom from people who were successful, all the way from people who were successful like working for major game studios and publishing stuff that was that had $1 million budgets, all the way down to guys who were working with just a few $1,000s in their art team, and they were doing their own art and everything. Was the almost universal wisdom was, when you do your first game, don't start too big. Make sure you're starting with something that is achievable and doable, so that you can have it and it's there and done.
Yeah. The original game concept for Aegis, like, we didn't think that we'd be able to make that. We knew that we wanted to say like 6 months maximum dev cycle, especially because we're working in our spare time. It's just not worth it to try and spend like a year and a half and have the game flop, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so like the original game idea, while it was like super huge in concept, the actual game design document for Aegis was basically what you see now.
Yeah. So I mean, when you guys start off, are you all full-time jobs elsewhere? So you're all doing this in your spare time?
Yeah.
Yes.
That by itself is quite impressive. I mean, it's never when you do something, then you have to work a full-time job and also do that. It's never easy. We're working on product right now, getting website product out the door, and all of us have full-time jobs. And there's Rob giving me the double thumbs up, except for Rob. Rob's a full-time streamer, bastard. I
That's a
hate you.
full-time job. Quit telling me otherwise.
No, I said you're a full-time streamer.
I'm such a slacker.
He gets touchy about that.
I am super not touchy.
I kid. But so I know what it's like to have to work on a project, kind of in those few spare hours you can grab. So it's how long has this been ongoing for?
We started. Bo's actually only been with us for about half the project, so we didn't have an artist for half the project.
That's interesting. How did you get started without an artist? Were you just using?
Well,
were you using?
That's what I keep saying.
Programmer art is the.
Were you like? Because I know Unity has a ton of default assets. So were you?
No,
were
we
you
didn't
guys,
use any of that.
You didn't use any.
No. We used crappy. Well, actually, the original thing was because we didn't know what to use for a sprite. It was a picture of a Sprite can walking around.
Placeholders are always fun.
Yeah, and but yeah, the original project started April 20th, 2:47 p.m.
That is not as long ago as I would have expected.
Yeah. It was. It's a pretty short dev cycle, so like it's a, that we really didn't want to invest like a whole lot into this. Like I'm not saying that isn't like, oh, we didn't want to try, or like, oh, we didn't want to give it our whole. Like we still gave it our all, but we didn't want to have, like, we didn't want to be promising like this big huge thing. We just want to promise a game that someone would be like, oh, this is pretty fun. Like, play it for like 3 hours or something like that, and it's either play this game for a couple hours or you buy a coffee kind of thing. Like nothing that's going to be groundbreaking or anything like that, but just a good fun shooter.
Excellent. I mean, that's all that's a really good aspiration. I think there are a lot of game studios out there, even small studios that start off with the attitude of I'm going to make the next Minecraft or I'm going to make the next billion-dollar game, and not starting off with that attitude is something that is very healthy, I think, because overshooting, it's always better to underpromise and overdeliver, right?
Yeah.
100%. So, going back to the game style. So, what's your let's just a little background on it. What's your favorite type of game? I'm going to guess roguelites because, that's the kind of game you're developing.
For me personally, it's actually RTSs.
Okay.
I grew up basically playing like shit like Warcraft and Starcraft and all that sort of stuff. That's my jam.
Okay, I can definitely see some of the inspirations there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me too. Like that and anything like Super Smash Brothers. Although there's only really one Super Smash Brothers. Anything multiplayer that you can really fuck with your friends. Or play with your friends.
That's all right. You can say fuck. The profanity is just fine.
Thank God the wall's broken.
Okay, good.
Yeah, please. We are not. We're not so formal here. Yeah. So I mean, hello, Luna. How are you? This is actually in the stream hanging out. Our principal artist, Luna. Just got back together, get her back into the project this week, so we're very excited about that. Dash, tell us a little bit about your team, because I guess I probably should have started with that. So we know the two of you, obviously, and who else is on your team, and what else do they do?
Yeah, Jordan.
What
is our
does
other.
Jordan do? I mean, honestly, really, why do we keep Jordan around?
No one really knows.
Team mascot?
He's pretty though.
Just like an artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan's the other software engineer. He's also my brother. So we had a big advantage there because we actually live together. He owns the place and I rent off of him. So, so it's like a little office, which is nice. So yeah, Jordan's the other software engineer. He also did all the UI art and stuff like that.
Cool.
And then the other member is Jim, who he's been with us he actually produced the entire soundtrack in like 3 days. And he's been with us for about a month and a half now. but he's the musician, the composer.
So you have original soundtrack, you have original artwork, and you're not using Unity default assets. So I mean, this is people. Unity gets a bit of a bad rap, especially because a lot of people
It does, yeah.
will throw out shovelware Unity games and put $25 or $30 price tags on them on Steam, just as a cash grab. But there's a right way to do Unity and there's a wrong way to do Unity, and it surely seems like you guys are working on the right side of how to do Unity. Because you're original art, original music, and original stuff, and not using all of these default Unity assets, which is really exciting and cool. So,
Yeah.
what do you have planned for the future of Aegis? I know you guys are in a beta right now, and the product that I played was a beta. What are we looking at in terms of like time schedules and features? If you can give us any hints.
It just releases on Thursday, so I don't like.
Oh, okay. So we are seeing a
Yes.
mostly completed. I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a mostly completed game. The only thing that you might have missed were bug fixes and some helpful things for the player to just be a little bit more informed about the game, and items. There's going to be about I don't know how many more items that are going to be added, but it's a decent amount of items that we haven't added.
Okay, so give us the elevator pitch for Aegis, because I can read the description off the Steam page, and I can talk a little bit about playing it, but kind of give us your elevator pitch.
Okay. One sec.
Gotta make one up first. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just give us a good
No,
summary.
I'm- I'm notoriously bad at elevator pitches, but okay. Aegis is a 2D modular mech survival shooter. That's about okay. 2D modular mech survival shooter with roguelike qualities and brutal combat. That's
Okay,
about it.
that's a pretty good elevator pitch. So I'll fill a little bit of gaps in for what I've played so far. So I played for I think about 40 minutes or so, 30-40 minutes. Really enjoyed what I did get a chance to play of it. Great simple controls. Really easy to get into the game. Independent turning between the really cool thing that I liked about it is not every mech game features was independent turning of like the actual top part of the mech from where you're walking, so like a tank turret, which is really cool. Something that's in some mech games and not in other mech games. I like it because I think it makes it feel more like you're driving a walking tank.
Yeah. A lot of people actually have problems with that. Like they really just cannot figure the controls out when it comes
Which
to
totally
the,
throws me for a loop. I mean, that's pretty standard first-person controls for a lot of things.
I mean,
yeah, it's with the
Or I-
moving camera and stuff like that, and the rotating torso. People just can't seem to get a hold of it for some reason. But I'm glad it was good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it took me just a few seconds to get into it. I really enjoyed. I enjoy the independent rotation. I've been playing a lot of World of Tanks. Not gonna lie, Rob will tell you I've recently become very addicted
She's
to World of
addicted.
Tanks. And so the World of Tanks kind of feel of the feel of it sort of carries over a little bit because you kind of have that ability to turn your turret aside from where you're driving. It did take me a little while to figure out what the spacebar did. That sort of sprinty, jumpy thing that it does.
Oh yeah, travel mode and combat mode. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a bit to figure that out, but I was able to figure it out after a little while. And I didn't get too deeply into the modular. I know that there's 2 weapon slots on either side, and then all those backpack slots as well. Didn't get super deep into that, but I think I will have some more time to attack it in a little bit. And if you we'll put up a review of it on the beta site. The site is not ready yet; it's still beta, but we'll get there.
Maybe a bit before beta, but yeah, we're in alpha.
It's
Yeah.
alpha. The site exists. Let's put it that way.
in a vague sense.
It's there. The domain is there, and there's a WordPress on it.
Ooh, it's a thing.
We're very early in the phases of setting.
Also, Fiona, are you better at this game than you are at World of Tanks?
Whoa!
Sick burn.
Whoa.
Rob is
shade.
throwing some shade. Oh,
Shots fired.
No pulling punches.
ouch! And no, I'm no better at this game than I am at World of Tanks. I am notoriously bad at video games. Unless it's
Okay.
unless it's a first-person shooter.
You're still
I don't think I've survived more than about 15 minutes in Aegis myself, and I, help make it. So, don't worry.
At least did a little better than that.
Maybe we should see you out of all of us who can survive the longest. Yeah, it sounds like we need a survival playthrough.
Rob, I think your wife wants me to fight you. It's like
That could
fighting
be
words.
entertaining. We could stream that. I will kick all of you. so badly. I'm bad at tanks now, but I'm better than all you fuckers. You say? You know, you might be
Rob, I don't think she meant tanks.
She doesn't want to do. She doesn't want fighting words. Trust me.
All right. Sorry, we get off topic occasionally. Sorry about that.
That's why it has no name, so we can't get off topic.
On a side note,
sorry,
if you guys can actually beat Aegis without dying once, I'd be incredibly surprised. We put in a save feature. Like, that's the only difference between it and traditional roguelikes is we actually did put a save feature because it was just too hard.
Wow.
Yeah, I will never ever be able to match you on that. I'm not good enough at video games. Oh, hey, Metal Dragon Rider is here as well. I got some folks coming out. Tata stream. So now, this is something that's interesting to me. So TwitchCon was just this weekend, and Rob and Jeet were both at TwitchCon. That's why they've been away all weekend. If you guys have been looking for their streams, they've been at TwitchCon. So the question I have for you guys is now, what is it? How hard is it for a small developer who's developing on the side to make it to a convention like PAX East or TwitchCon, and to show your game off? How hard is that to do?
It doesn't happen. It's we can't. There's no way we could fit that into our budget right now. As of right now, the budget for Aegis is like $500.
Okay, so that's my art budget for the website for the month. So okay,
Exactly.
I feel ya.
Because we gave Bo a revenue share. Jordan and I aren't actually taking revenue shares. Everything that isn't going to Bo or isn't going to anywhere else, is just going back into the company that we want to start. So going to PAX or TwitchCon or whatever conventions would be extremely hard. I wouldn't even do it for a game like Aegis either. Like I think I'd probably want it to be a game that we spent a lot more time on, and a game that us as a team knows that it's going to be like a much more successful game. Because Aegis, like, this is our first game as a team. Like, we got to get better at smoothing out the cracks and stuff like that, and just.
This is just a team building.
Whoa! Speak for your own crack.
It's not just a team building game. Like I say this always, like, we still tried like as hard as we could, and we still believe it's a good game, but
the third one has
it
arrived.
just happened. Oh, Jordan.
Somebody else has arrived. Welcome, new player.
Hey.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm late.
I guess, yeah, okay, just forget what I said about Jordan earlier.
Hello, Jordan.
Screw you too, Bo.
We totally weren't saying bad things about anyone.
If you would be so kind as to introduce yourself to the stream since you've just arrived.
Sure. I'm Jordan Whitlock. I'm Carson's brother, the other software engineer that worked on Aegis. So him and I kind of created the company together.
Cool. So your two brothers that are working on the game. Talk a little bit about that brother dynamic. Have you guys been button heads a little bit over that, or you get along good time brothers?
Nope, we're brothers as brothers, I guess, should be. We get along super well, and me being the middle child, I guess, sort of makes me easy to get along with.
Yeah, no, it's kind of creepy. Like, I expected more, like, fighting amongst you two. I just assume it happens when I'm not around.
I have a
Yeah,
sister, so I understand that sibling fighting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bash is here too. Welcome to the stream, Bash. Some of our regulars are showing up as time drags by. All right, so take me through the process of kind of getting the company set up, because it sounds like you guys have. So you mentioned earlier, you said you wouldn't go to a con with Aegis. So do you think that this is going to be the first game for Innuendo Studios, and then you guys are going to move on from there? You're going to work on something that is a different project, a bigger project.
Absolutely.
What's
Like,
next
I think
for Innuendo Studios after Thursday?
It honestly depends on how well Aegis does, but yeah, we'd love to work on bigger games, on more polished games, and more just like I think the main difference would be like if we can work any sort of full time as opposed to us like after work. The next game we make is going to be like leaps and bounds better than Aegis. Not to say Aegis is a bad game again, but it's just about how much time you put into something, right? So
Have you guys considered maybe going the Patreon route or doing a Kickstarter style of funding, or any sort of crowdfunding?
I mean, that kind of thing is like, it has been talked about in the past, but I mean, I guess this is probably more me personally speaking than everybody as the company as a whole. I don't feel super comfortable doing that quite yet. until we've actually proven to not only our fan base, which is still very small, and ourselves that we are fully capable of not squandering the money that we would potentially raise from a campaign like that. Because the absolute worst thing I could see happening is us ending up being one of those cases where we end up bringing in a decent amount of money in order for us to later, use to start a game, and then falling short, and then being unable to deliver on the things that we wanted to deliver on. And game development is a complicated process. There's lots of things that got cut in Aegis at the 11th hour just to get it out the door, and the last thing I would want is for people to be disappointed for some features like that to get cut because we didn't have the time to fully deliver on something we promised on for something like a Kickstarter campaign. So again, that's kind of more me personally talking though.
Anybody else have any different opinions, or is that the opinion of shared across the whole group?
Yeah,
I'm
that seems about right.
Yeah. Well, plus I think Kickstarter is a little bit people become extremely jaded towards Kickstarter, and unless you've got a project that's way out there, completely different than anyone ever thought, or your budget's super low, then it's likely that you won't get kickstarted.
Absolutely. I absolutely think you're right on that one. I think that the general kind of attitude towards the whole of crowdfunding has changed in the last couple of years, with some high profile failures, and with some deliveries that weren't in anything like they promised, and with some games that have ended up stuck in the development hell. That occasionally happens. So I mean, I think that it's a very responsible position to hold. A lot of game developers are not quite so responsible in their whole world, I guess. I think is the way we'll say that. Not everybody is as moral as that. There's a lot of folks out there, a lot of game developers out there that might not necessarily feel the same way that you do, because they may just want to grab what they can and run. So that's good. That's good to hear. So you guys out there, pay attention. This is nice guys. When it comes we have an audience question from Bash. When it comes right down to it, what are the educational backgrounds and schools you guys did? Or type
How do
that
we
guys.
order this?
Jordan goes first.
All of you talk at once. Go now.
Okay.
Yeah. Blah, blah.
All right, I guess I'll go first. I went to school at the Vancouver Film School's video game design program. It's an intensive course that basically teaches you from literally nothing to, creating a game, or two actually, by the time you finish the project, and then they sort of boot you out the door and go find a job, and then it's super not that easy. So I ended up finding work as a QA tester in the local video game scene here in Vancouver for the past 6 years or so, and in my spare time, a lot of what I know for programming, at least the basics, have come from some part-time night courses that I'd been taking at British Columbia Institute of Technology, the BCIT, here in Vancouver. And with that as kind of my foundation, and then just simply working on stuff, just doing more stuff, projects. I think I counted it at one point, and I have like 15 or more projects in my Dropbox alone that I worked on in the past, and so it's just learned more from there. So that's my educational background.
So it's really a ton of it's a lot. You have some formal training and some self teaching, which is a cool set of backgrounds. So if you're out there and you're watching and you're interested in programming, this is always a question I ask to every single programmer that I talk to, and I've interviewed a lot of programmers between here and Broken Joysticks in the last year and a half. Is if somebody who's out there is listening right now wants to start in the world of game dev, what's the best thing for them to do that they can do today or tomorrow? And
Honestly,
either of you can answer this, since you're both working on this project as developers.
Make the simplest game possible. Make a one-button game that takes you like a day to make. Do a Ludum Dare Jam or something like that. Just anything that throws yourself into the fire, because that's a lot of what game dev's about. Is you can't teach someone. This is the formal way of making games. You can teach someone a formal skill
Network
programming
architecture or
or
something.
art, or network architecture or something. But you can't be this is how you design a game. So really, it's all just about climbing those mountains at the start of game development. Making your first platformer, or making a game where you press space. The first, I'm gonna bring up a game that we talked about last interview. The first game that Jordan and I ever tried to make together was just a game called Slap That Guy.
Was it about slapping a guy?
It's all right.
It was about
How did
slapping
you
a guy.
know?
Yeah. And you just
The
hold down
title
the
gave
space
it
bar
away.
to charge up your slap, and you just slap a guy, and that was the whole game. And even by doing that, we learned some Unity specific things, like good methods to use for physics, or we learned some good C# practices and stuff like that. And it's just good to, I don't know, throw yourself in the fire. So just make a bunch of small games.
Yeah.
And you'll slowly work your way up.
If I was a starting dev, if I could go back in time and tell myself to learn one thing, it would be to just learn more programming and learn it earlier. Just because even as a game designer, as someone who has initially wanted to enter the industry as a designer, programming is a much easier thing to sell. It's so difficult to prove that you can be a designer without having been a designer. And so that same thing isn't quite as true for programming. It, as a hard skill, it's a lot easier to show, be like, I have this, diploma from X university or whatever. And even then, it's a lot easier to show what you have created if you have programming experience to actually enact that creation, as opposed to just like writing it on a design document. So.
And that is something I have heard echoed from every single developer I've interviewed, top to bottom, every single one. By the way, if you're watching out there right now, guys, we are going to be giving away some Aegis keys. I think you guys said we have 3 keys to give away tonight, right?
It's really as many as you want to give away.
1 million keys! No, I'm kidding. Let's see if
How
we
do we
can.
lose money?
If a million people even play Aegis, I will be super happy, regardless of whether we get paid.
Let's see
I'm
if
making money and I'm eating ramen, but they played my game.
Yeah, exactly.
let's see if we can let's see if we can even get through people that are in the stream that will enter. A lot of times we have trouble getting people to chat. So
Can I answer a question from chat?
yeah, absolutely. So there's a question from Bash in chat. As a programmer, is there a language I should be working on?
Short answer.
Short answer, no. you could use any language you want. Like it all depends on what you're doing. If you want to make your own engine, sure, you could use C++, which is a faster language than Java. But many engines have a lot of support for specifically Java and C#. Boo is sort of supported. Python is also sort of supported. But typically, if you're going to be working in games and you want to use Unity, I'd say C# is a good thing to learn.
Even then, like, to elaborate a little bit further on that, getting into programming, there are a lot of languages out there. There's C, there's C++, C#, Boo, Python, Java, JavaScript. Unity script is basically like its own thing. But all of them, while they are different, they have different syntaxes, a few different changes here and there. As a whole, they all fundamentally work off of same basic logic. Some of them might have more libraries than others, or some of them might have some slight changes here and there, but there are always going to be a lot of similarities between them, and learning the basics of how to actually program is probably more important than the actual language you will be learning. So, like, as an example, the schooling that I actually went and did formally was done in Java, but not a speck of Aegis or literally any other project I've worked on outside of that program has been Java. It's all been done in C#.
I think
So
that sounds like every college course any of us have ever taken.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's just
Crap they just taught me.
yeah. There's like the foundation is the most important thing, and there's usually things that translate between them. So no, there's not really a set language that you should be learning. Just pick something. Pick one. Maybe one you think you'll plan on using, but just pick one.
I started with Visual Basic.
That was
Just to
mistake.
give you an idea.
That's a mistake. Don't do that.
Yeah, it is a mistake. I made a game with Visual Basic though.
Well, you made a game in Visual. What?
Yeah.
Sorry, tell me
3,000
that
lines.
story.
In grade 11, the first game I ever made, because I just picked up a Visual Basic book, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to learn how to program. Like, I got to learn one way or another, and then I got to if statements, and then I got bored, so I decided, like, I'm going to make a game with what I got. So I made,
Nothing
in
but
one
if
method, 3,000 lines of if statements.
Holy fuck, dude.
I can send you the game if you want to play it. It's a piece of crap. But
Let's talk about a trial by fire right there.
Yeah, like,
Wow.
That's like
That's
trying
the
to win
best
a
thing to
race
do.
by cutting off a foot, Carson.
No, but it is seriously. It's the best thing to do because I learned so much about just everything. Like you can make a game with the shittiest, background code ever, but it could still work. So like you could, like yeah, like a lot. You see these like AAA devs and stuff like that that have like super slick code that runs perfectly and stuff like that. But if you really wanted to, you could go to Visual Basic and make a 3,000 line if statement, tank hell,
Yes, you
bullet
can.
hell.
Bash, and you're absolutely right that more people need to hear this because, like I said, I've interviewed people I've interviewed people all the way from guys that have worked on Call of Duty and other games with multi-million-dollar budgets, all the way down to the bottom stuff. The guys that worked part-time for 5 years on a game that was a simple platformer, and it took them 5 years to get the platformer out, or a simple puzzler, and it took them 5 years to get the they're out. And universally speaking, every single one of them has provided the same exact answer, almost word for word, which is just do it. If for lack of a better term, lack of a better and a nicer way to say it, get into the shit and make a game. Make a small game. Make a game that only has a few commands. Don't try to make some crazy network game with multiplayer. Don't try to make some sailing ship game or some crazy shit like that. Make something simple.
Absolutely. Do a game jam because those are a good way to focus. Because it's like you set a weekend apart. You start Friday night, you pick a random theme, and you're like, we're gonna build a game in 2 days. That's all you do. You box yourself in your room for 2 days, and you do what you can, and you learn so much from those kinds of games.
I will tell you that I have almost no experience with programming. It's limited to scripting, basic scripting shit, Python, and a little bit of HTML here and there. And my first exposure to writing code was on old TI-83s. If you guys remember the language TI-80, you could write in TI-83s, which is basically, I think it was basically Visual Basic.
It's a form of basic.
And you could use simple if statements and or statements to write games. And I saw these fantastic games that people would make with graphics and drawn graphs and all this pretty shit. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I tried to start with making something really complicated and failed epically. And if I started simply and started with something that was easy and doable, it might have kept my interest. Whereas instead, I just gave up and was like, no, I'm done. I'm done, fam.
Yep. That's totally how you do it. Just the smaller the game, you'll actually complete it for your first one, and that's the most important thing. Is actually completing the project.
Yeah, I think that's something I don't think a lot of people really get a chance to see. I think that what happens is you get discouraged, right? So you start a project and the project doesn't move forward at all, and then you're maybe having some frustrations or troubles, and the game doesn't work exactly how you want it to, or your complex collision detection doesn't work, or your networking module doesn't work. And Unity has made things a lot easier. I mean, I won't mince words about Unity. I'm not the hugest fan of Unity, but Unity has literally taken game development from something that is probably accessible to like maybe 5 to 10%. Things like Game Maker Pro, RPG Studio, and Unity have made game development much more accessible to everyone. I mean, to even people who maybe just know how to do basic scripting and not as much coding.
Yeah, I think a big problem though is that you're right when you said before that people just bring assets from the Unity store or whatever, and like a lot of people who give Unity shit, like Unity is still an engine. Like it can still function very well as a base for a completely original game, but it gets a lot of bad rep because there's people bringing, what's it called, like stuff in from the asset store, whether it's like a behavior or if it's if it's art or something like that.
Yeah, and
it's still a very valid engine. Like I'd say it's just as valid as like Unreal or anything out there that anyone could jump into. But like, it's just how you use it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's not like developing in Unity versus developing in Unreal. At this point, they're both free engines. Unreal Engine is now free, and it's not like developing in Unity versus developing in Unreal. One is inherently better than the other. One may have some features the other does not. I know that Unity has a lot of sort of GUI kind of stuff you can do with it. Like you can also access the back and just completely do everything in Unity from code if you want to. But there's also front end GUI kind of styles of things you can do in Unity. And then again, I'm not incredibly familiar with it, but you can do some stuff in GUI, some stuff in back-end coding, and there is an asset store. And I'm not sure that Unreal Engine has any of that, but it's still pretty pretty much the argument of Unity is bad doesn't really work at all. Like it's not. I mean, it's just it's what you put in there that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Unity is a tool. Straight up, plain and simple. You can give two different people a hammer, and they can make two very different projects. And at the very base, that's what Unity is. It is a tool. Just like Unreal is. Unreal might be a nicer tool. Maybe it's a hammer that's got like a flashlight on it or something, but it's still a tool.
Hey, I love my hammer with a flashlight.
There you go. Laser pointer for accuracy.
Hey, you should probably I'd probably still miss and hit my thumb.
Yeah, but it's not the tool's fault then, I guess.
No, it's just like Unity. It's not the tool's fault, right?
Yeah.
The trick is to stop Snapchatting before you start nailing things into the wall.
But then how will people know that I'm nailing things into the wall on my social media?
Selfie stick.
All right. Anybody else in the chat got any more questions? That was a great question, Bash. I want a hammer. Luna wants a hammer with a flash.
The artist is
I think that's a
getting
flammer.
A flammer. Oh, hey, there we go. That's
Flammer.
trademark that right now. You can make a millions,
That's an infomercial waiting to happen. The Flammer.
right?
For only 9 payments of $19.99.
Wow, that's
I'm already imagining like the black and white people using a normal hammer and doing it completely horribly, and then like, "Does this ever happen to you?" Big cross through it. Introducing.
Well, that's when they use the regular hammer and they try to cut a tomato, but they can't do it.
Yeah.
Do you ever cut?
Exaggerated.
They're trying to nail in a nail and hit the person next to them and they just explode.
Yeah. I love those. Sometimes it's just fun to watch on their own.
I love those old infomercials.
One of those great stock explosion effects as well, where it's just like something that has just so painfully obviously been edited in with After Effects.
Shut up, Zen, by the way.
Time's the show start. You expected entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
Oh, hello, Zenergy. I'm glad to see that you're here joining us 48 minutes late.
What time does the show start? Yes.
It started an hour ago. Well, 48 minutes ago. So, there we go. The regulars are showing up after all. I was afraid nobody was going to show up, and I was going to disappoint you guys with how uncool we were.
I don't know if you're giving away, something,
You're gonna wait
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, flammers.
I just need to know where to put the keys.
Oh, you can just send them to me in a private message. That's fine.
Yeah, it's like Skype them.
We'll do that at the end of the show.
And now there's only 2.
No.
I'm here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll create the giveaway now.
Yay,
Type
giveaway.
giveaway to participate. I like to leave Christian.
So we enter for
I
our
would
own
enter
game.
the giveaway. No, wait.
Fuck you, Zenergy.
He's not wrong. He's just
So
an asshole.
Hey, look at the awesome follow anime. Oh, my follow animation. Oh no, there it is. Like it's gone. No, there it is. Just took it a minute to show it.
It's broken.
I actually lost. I wonder if you guys have ever had this problem. I have way too much storage space on my personal computer. In fact, I think we've just crossed the 4 terabyte mark. And I have either misplaced or lost a folder full of artwork. Mostly it was thumbnails and other things that were not like critical, but it was stuff that I would have liked to have had.
You're in the 21st century when you digitally lose digital media and you can't physically find it.
Well, it's somewhere. It's just that I have a lot. My file structure is not very well organized.
What a surprise! I mean, how terrible. I'm making you laugh. Come on, it's funny.
Yeah, so I mean, my file structure is not as well organized. Look at even though he's not at his house, Rob still has Monster.
Yeah,
That's the first thing we did when he got here is buy a case of Monster.
that was not. We got food first.
Hey, we got another follower tonight. That's 2. Ooh,
Moving up in the world.
moving on up. Seriously though, guys, I love you for the follows. Thank you. Make sure
I
you
just
also.
wanted to see the follow animation thing again.
You just want to see the file. It's cute, isn't it? It's my
That's
fox.
a dopey looking fox.
It is,
Just
and-
they pop up.
If you think
Don't
about
tell people that.
Oh, I
Don't
can
tell
do
people
that,
to
you're
follow and
right.
unfollow. Because Jordan and I used to run a stream a while back where we used to interview developers, and when people figure that out, like someone would ask a developer a question and then just be like, follow and follow, follow and follow, follow and follow.
Trolls are everywhere.
the internet is made of trolls and sadness. So.
Yeah, and boobs.
And boobs. Don't forget about boobs. That's true. As was implied there by Metal Dragon Rider with her thumbnails in quotation.
Yeah, say why is it in quotation?
I believe she is implying I lost something that was not a thumbnail. if you catch my drift. All right, Chad, you got any more questions for these guys? How about you, Robin? Gee, you've been very quiet.
I mean, I think Bo died. I mean, we should probably ask if he's okay. He hasn't said a word in minutes. He's
Bo?
just hanging out.
It's
There's all this coding stuff going on.
it's true. We've had a couple interviews, and this is how it tends to go.
Nobody wants to talk about my artwork.
How did you hook up with these guys? How did you find them?
A shady Craigslist ad.
It's the best
Hey,
way to
that's
find
how I
some
found my last roommate, who turned out to be a sociopath.
Nice.
Well,
And
I mean,
insane.
there's still time for these guys to go crazy on me.
Only
Yeah, I was
time.
about to say, like, this is how we ran into the game developers who turned out to be sociopaths.
True story.
I believe you mentioned Toronto. Would you say you're based out of Toronto? Somewhere in Canada. I'm bad at Canada.
Vancouver.
I'm bad at. That's like the other side of the country, so you know.
Yep.
No big deal.
Pretty close.
Well, there's like
Canada's
three
like the
big
same
cities.
thing.
I mean, I'm in
Canada.
Canada, you know.
So... Are you?
No, I just mean like I guessed in a place in
Oh, okay.
Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
guys.
It's only the second
Second
biggest
largest
country in the world. Yeah, there you go. Bo knows. Bo knows what's up.
Bo, are you in Vancouver as well?
Yes. I
Oh,
am
cool.
about
Sorry, yeah.
20 minutes south of these two dingleberries.
Oh, nice.
So you're just far enough away to not have to come over for dinner constantly.
Exactly. Yeah.
What-
Although they do bring dinner to me, they force bubble tea on me when we hang out and play Magic cards.
Oh, yeah.
Although it's very good bubble tea.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
They have full-time jobs, but they're still nerds at heart. All right, we can handle it. They play
So
Magic.
I guess you guys all play Magic. Y'all cardboard crack addicted.
Somewhat. I mean, honestly, the more time that I spend working on games with these guys, the less time I find I have to play any games of my own, or that other people make.
Stop coming over to my house.
Gotta know that feeling, Bo. I mean, on Aegis, since we started development, I basically did very little of anything other than work on Aegis in my spare time. And so when we finished the game, what we considered the finished game, which was, I think, the early September, and that was when the media builds all started going out, I was like, I'm taking 2 weeks, and I'm going to just play video games and do no work of any kind.
Of course, we will plug Aegis Bash, and we're going to actually link it on our Twitter and everything too. But in case you just got here, a few of you weren't here when we started. You're currently hearing all of the guys who have developed. All 4 of you, right? That's the whole team, isn't it?
3 to 4.
Nope.
Three of us
Jim,
here.
wait. What happened to Jim? Where'd he go?
I don't know. He died or something.
Yeah. No one's checked on Jim in a while.
No, Jim was never here. He. That's really bad if we didn't know Jim wasn't here.
He's going to hear this later and just be super sad.
Nobody, please delete the video.
crying in a corner.
Well, this goes into the most entertaining episode we've ever had. So these are the developers from Innuendo Squad Inc. It's we have 4/5 of Innuendo Squad Inc. here.
3/4.
3/4. I'm not.
I'm not do basic.
I'm not good at math.
Like,
That's why I can't be a programmer. I'm not good at math. Their game, which is called Aegis, is coming out on Steam on Thursday. You should check it out. Let me get you guys a link to the Steam page. I have had a chance to play it. It is really quite fun. Oh, there it is. Jeet has linked it.
You're
to
welcome.
us.
Magic.
No, that's the community page. You didn't link the store page.
That should be the store page.
No, it's the community page.
Steam hates me.
Steam is stupid.
Luna's like,
I'm on the store page.
Yeah, we are.
that's okay because I linked to the front page of the Steam store.
Yeah, I was gonna say neither of those links worked.
Let's try that again. There we go.
Failure links for everyone.
Whatever. It wouldn't be the show with no name if we didn't have technical problems.
Shut up! You don't talk about the tech. That's normal.
That's just totally normal.
That is totally normal.
So that's that. Their game is going to be out on Thursday, October 6th, right?
Yep.
And
October
it is
6th,
how much?
$3.
$2.99.
$2.99.
USD.
It is a steal, guys. It is absolutely a steal. We currently only have 3 people entered in the giveaway, so all 3 of you that entered will probably be getting keys.
I
So
was gonna say it's literally a steal right now because 3 of you are getting it for free. So
yeah, it's a steal because the three of you that have entered will be getting it for free. So what I'm going to do real quick is tweet that we're doing a giveaway, and while we do that, would you guys, Rob, figure out something to talk about?
why are you always putting me on the spotlight?
That's your job.
No, I'm a. I mean,
I'm tweeting.
I can't really argue with that particular
Yeah,
logic.
she's tweeting. That's important.
Keep in mind these keys can't be redeemed until release day. Well, they can be redeemed, but you can't play the game.
You
until
won't be
release
able to install the game. So just like if you had pre-ordered, it would be like you had
Yeah,
pre-ordered.
there's no.
Yeah.
So, watching the kind of like trailer video, I see that the mech kind of like throws like a little canister thing out. Is that like a scrap retrieval kind of a thing? I was trying to. That's the one thing we couldn't really figure out.
Yeah, it's a drone.
Little
It's,
drone.
okay.
Yeah.
it's like a collection drone.
If you played the
It's a
game,
collection
you'd know that.
rectangle.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
Well, like,
we figured,
Yeah.
I know that.
I didn't give
we
you.
just
a
figured it'd be
copy.
a little easier to like have a little drone that goes out and gathers your resources as opposed to you actually needing to like ram your mech into the size of a building in order to get stuff. So
Okay.
it was easier on everyone.
This thing next
Fun
to
fact
the
as
building,
well,
knock the
that's-
building down.
Nobody was using.
I mean, a lot of people do that anyway. Just ram their mech into buildings because they're bad at the
Hopefully
controls.
unintentionally.
I mean, well, that's what you do with mechs.
I was gonna say I played Mech Warrior before. You knock over buildings. That's how it works.
Maybe if you're in like an assault mech, try that in a flea and tell me how it goes.
You will die horribly.
Ouch. I remember that in like Mech Warrior 3, you'd be in like a light mech and like try and turn around and get stuck like Austin Powers. You'd like hit a building.
Oh, good times.
Good
Man, I
time.
love the McWeird
All right, I made a tweet about a giveaway. We'll see if we can attract some other. Damn, I accidentally reloaded my chat. Your new arc has dragons. We'll get there, Bash. Chill. We still have a whole second half of the show because these freaking guys over here went to TwitchCon.
Plays it, so.
Yeah, you're the only person in the entire world that plays that game, so go, you know.
That's not true. We played it for like 2 weeks.
And
Oh,
it
yeah.
got frustrating and we stopped.
Here, let me ask the default journalist question. What are your biggest inspirations? Each of you, tell me what are your biggest inspirations when it comes to developing this game and just game development in general.
Remember to shove the mic in their face. You know?
Please, nobody say Notch.
No.
I wasn't
Carson
going
is
to.
my biggest inspiration.
One at a time.
What? Go first.
Oh,
Carson
Let's
is
go.
definitely my biggest inspiration with that sick flow that he's got in that picture.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Look at that wave.
So, Bo, I mean, as an art, did you always so? Tell me a little bit because we haven't talked a lot about your art stuff yet. So, tell me a little bit about your background and your art, your like background in art, and you hooked up with these guys on Craigslist, which is kind of
Don't
like
say
I hooked up with a
It's how it's
couple
done in
roommates on
Canada.
credit. Okay, all right. So Todd's. I thought you guys had a different thing than Craigslist.
Totally joking. It's not normal.
Oh, it's done on Craigslist. Did you guys literally just put a Craigslist ad like, "Yo, looking for video game artist"?
They 100% did.
Bo was like, all right, I'm down.
That's awesome.
All right, so describe to me a little bit, Bo. Explain to me what it's like to answer a freaking ad for a video game artist on Craigslist. And by the way, if you're just showing up now for the giveaway, please go ahead and put an exclamation mark giveaway like this, and you will be entered into the giveaway.
I hope you're
Okay,
getting your own-
and Bo, go.
Basically, I saw the ad and I saw it actually for a while, and I was like, nah, whatever, because I actually had another sort of similar gig back in the winter with some guys in Chicago, but they were kind of turds, so I stopped doing that.
Hey, I'm in Chicago.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Oh shit!
Sorry, you
Nice.
can't leave it. Leave it.
Oh, sick burn.
That was just an air
That
ball.
was pretty good.
Ouch! I really need directions to the nearest burn center now. That hurt.
it'll be free if you were in Canada. No, I
Oh,
know.
Oh!
But yeah.
I had to
They
dig
were,
on U.S. healthcare twice.
Oh, well, yeah. Well,
Spit
what else do
and
we
fire.
have?
You have snow, a lot of snow.
What else?
not
do
in
we-
Vancouver.
So
No,
much.
there-
it hasn't snowed here in like a year and a half.
You guys are pretty close to Seattle. You have legal weed
Nope.
That's not true. It's not legal.
or
No,
decriminalized.
that's not.
Illegal medicinal weed.
Mostly
So
illegal.
if you
in
cough, you get free weed.
parentheses.
But
Well, I'm sure there are some things that are good. I tried to name things and ended up getting shot down. But I'm sure there's a
Well,
reason to
it
live there.
just sucks here. Oh no.
We got trees.
We have
Account.
trees. All right. Bo, tell us a little bit about your biggest inspirations for your video game art. Oh, and we never asked you like what you do for a living and like what your background was at all either.
Well, I work in construction, so a lot of my inspiration for Aegis in particular was a lot of like just construction like equipment that I use. So, like when they told me it was post-apocalyptic, I figured, well, a lot of just standard, heavy equipment like the settlement, the base itself, is basically constructed out of shipping containers because I see those all the time, and so it was stuck in my brain. And that kind of worked, I guess. Luckily enough, I don't know if I could have thought of how to do an environment for sci-fi or fantasy as easily, given that I don't work in a science fiction setting. Not that many people do. Yeah.
That's cool. So that's a really good inspiration for anybody out that's interested in getting started. You don't really have to have any specific background at all to get into game development. It doesn't matter kind of where you want to get started. It's just about if you have the art, do the art, and if you have the art talent, do the art talent. If you have the programming knowledge to get started with the programming knowledge. Whatever you have, you can bring something to that team, and you two can work in the hell that is game development.
Yeah, you draw from what you know. So,
well, to be fair, I did go to art school, like for fine arts. So I didn't actually learn any of the digital artwork that I use, like how to use Photoshop I just use Photoshop. So just Photoshop. But I did go to a lot of drawing and painting classes, which gave me somewhat of a fundamentals of how best to use line and color and composition. But when it comes, something that I've read and which helped me a lot is that when you're trying to make compelling artwork, you really need to bring something besides knowledge of how to draw or how to paint. You have to have knowledge of the thing that you are creating to make something very compelling. So I don't know if that really makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
That makes perfect sense. So I mean, you mentioned, you kind of touched on it a little bit already, which is to say that you see industrial stuff all the time. You're seeing shipping containers and industrial things all the time, and so you use that as a big part of your inspiration for the background palette of the game. And I think that's really good advice. I think because a lot of people are going to try to work in something that if they're trying to work in something they're not familiar with, they're not going to have that reference. They're not going to know intimately what it looks like and everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I told you to imagine something, like say, I was thinking about this today because I've been practicing drawing faces. Like, how do you draw someone who's white? How do you draw their face? And then how do you draw someone who's, say, Asian? And very specifically, how do you draw all those individual features together? How do they fit together? And you have to actually go out and really look at something to get those details correct. So it really comes down to just how much time you're willing to put into studying your subject. Yeah.
So that's good advice out there for any aspiring artists. Unfortunately, I think Luna had to step away, but it's definitely good advice in terms of using reference objects, going out and seeing those objects in real life, and really giving them a study on them and getting a chance to look at them. Cool. All right. Anybody else got any more cool questions in the chat? If you're in the chat and you're here for the giveaway, make sure you type !giveaway in the chat, and that way Viv can get you in. We've only got 4 entrants right now, and one of them is me, and I can't win, so we've only got 3 entrants right now.
Of course, the inspiration about what you want to draw, that begs the question, where are the mechs, and how can you please show us back where they are so we can, commandeer them for scientific purposes, since you need the inspiration to draw those.
Yeah, what were you holding out on us?
Everybody in Canada has a mech.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why we have free healthcare, because they're quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Person with unpronounceable name. I'm going to try. Yukisu. Thanks for the follow. I cannot pronounce your name. I'm sure I butchered that, but thanks for the follow. Have an adorable fox.
Yeah, there's a lot of names on Twitch that I go,
The first part is definitely and then the next part looks like Yukisu. I apologize for butchering that. Thank you for the follow. And you are entered in the contest. Everybody who just threw in, and also Ruin BW, thank you as well.
Hey, now there's actually random chance involved.
Yes, now there's some chance involved. So, what else you got? I mean, yeah, where are you guys keeping the mechs in Canada? Because I think we'd like to know.
Yeah. I think most of them are in Alberta.
Yuno
Bastards.
Yuki Su. Okay, all right. I can let you know Yukisu. Okay, that works.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So, are they buried under the snow? Because I know you guys have like a lot of snow.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
we don't.
Aegis is actually like a documentary of how life is in Canada.
I was gonna say,
So-
I imagine this is what Canada looks like.
Polar bears there.
That's awesome.
Where are the moose?
We did leave out a few iconic things like a Tim Hortons. There should be one basically every 30 feet, but
What do you
Oh
mean?
my god, that
licensing
would
for
be
that, though.
epic.
That would be amazing if there was just a Tim Hortons. Just
You can just take the anime route and you can call it Him Tortons.
that's so true. Wouldn't quite have the same effect, I guess, but I mean, they would know what we're going for.
You get the idea. I mean, it's in the anime they use the Whack Donalds,
It would be
Yeah.
just enough to not get sued.
right? Are there cool Easter eggs in your games? Energy asks, and are they super secret?
If there are, they probably won't live long enough to show them to anyone.
If it's a super secret Easter egg and they tell us about it, it's not a super secret Easter egg anymore. Now is it?
Like that's not super secret.
There's a
There
few.
are
Anyone
there are a few nods. I don't know if I would call them super secrets, but there are a few nods.
Yeah.
Specifically in the items.
So Tim Horton, Whack Donalds is the best. Tim Hortons is the Starbucks of Canada, only it's more like a Dunkin' Donuts and it's not shitty.
Or is it the other way around?
Yeah, I'd say we have Dunkin' Donuts up here too, and we also have Starbucks up here. Tim Hortons is, I would put it on maybe a slightly higher pedestal than Dunkin' Donuts because you can get a bunch of other stuff there other than coffee. You can get and donuts. You can get, so they got muffins and bagels and sandwiches and blah 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 blah. So,
I
do they
really-
have all that stuff at Dunkin' Donuts too? I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts.
They
very
do,
often.
but it's not as good as Timmy's. One of the
there you go.
things that I never miss when I'm in Canada is I never missed getting me some Timmy's, and they have really good coffee.
That's the only thing they're known for is their coffee.
No, they're known for their food too. Their bagels are really fucking good. Lollies.
Great. So
Timmy strikes the good balance between like price and quality. It's not like anywhere amazing, but it's worth the price.
They also have like soup and
It's not
stuff.
sludge either.
And they also have like soup and stuff at Timmy's, so they have like hot food there.
that's cool.
And pulled pork sandwiches.
Most Canadians will swear by Tim Hortons. I've seen
Okay.
those on the road. Wasn't sure what it was. It's like it's definitely it definitely is like a Dunkin' Donuts, but like a little above a Dunkin' Donuts. I think they'll sell you their coffee, even if you're in the States. So
Yeah, they have it at grocery stores and stuff. My Tim Hortons
yeah,
coffee.
I like their coffee a
Oh,
lot.
really?
They have good
Pretty sure.
coffee.
Yeah, I think there's a few in the States, at least a few like Tim Hortons shops. They're all over the damn place up here in Canada, of course, but
That's why Canadian like everybody's like so on them in Canada because like they're just everywhere. They're just ubiquitous.
Those items.
Carson and I are roommates, and currently I am sitting a block away from. There are 2 Tim Hortons within a block of me right now. If you were to expand that out to 3, it then becomes 4.
Yeah, so
So-
they're everywhere. Holy shit! There's actually a lot of them in the States. There's
Goes out far for Tim Hortons.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple in Pennsylvania. There's at least 2 or 3 in Ohio. There's a few,
well-
a few in Buffalo,
Tim's was bought out by Burger King, so
Columbus.
that's why they're in the U.S. now.
Oh, so they're on an expansion tear.
Yeah.
Oh
Might
shit, there's
be
a
taking them a little while to
That's
catch on.
Burger King money and run.
fucking ton of them in Columbus, Ohio. Holy shit, yeah, you're not kidding, Kit. There's a fuck ton of them. I'll be in Detroit in a couple weeks, so I'll probably try to go up get the one that's in Pontiac. Beacon Nasty 75. Thank you for the follow, and if you want to enter the contest, make sure that you put exclamation mark. What is it? Giveaway. There we go. Hey, I'm good.
I think
Exclamation
Beatmax
mark
is actually
giveaway.
one of
There's
the
a cute
streamers.
fox for you there. That's actually who?
One of the other streamers, one of the guys who's going to be covering Aegis
Oh, very
Tuesday,
cool.
Wednesday, Thursday.
And I think we will also, if you could get Rob a key, because he'll stream it for you one day, I bet.
If I have the hard drive, it's
Sure.
fucking working. Ah, we'll fix it.
Oh, Rob is having some technical difficulties. Otherwise, I'll just buy the game. For him. Actually, you know what? You guys
No,
gave us 3
not
keys.
me.
I'll just buy a game.
Well,
I'll
no,
just buy
we'll
it.
we'll pass out the media keys. Like we've been throwing those things around left, right, and center.
What's it? Here's a good question that brings me to. What's it like as a small developer working with media stuff? I mean, have you guys been poking like Kotaku and the big bears in the room and saying, "Hey guys, come on in and check this game out"?
Hi, IGN, we're real. I swear.
Yeah, we sent media stuff to them. Basically, and maybe off hope that some guy was sifting through the emails one day and it was a slow news day and maybe decided to do a thing. But I mean, nothing has come from any of the people we contacted, which is absolutely not unexpected. So we did contact a few, but
expected.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard out. It's hard out there. When I'm working for the last company I was working for, we got so many. Every day we were getting press releases from big, small companies. All over the place. Just all these press releases, and sorting through them takes time. And one of our staff members there was really big on. She was developing her own game actually, and her even with all of her contacts that we gave her through our press machinations, all the press contacts that we had that we gave to her to use, she really had trouble getting people to write about her game.
Yeah, I think Carson could talk more to that because he's the one who mostly managed our Twitter following, and by mostly I mean entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult to get your game into the hands of very large channels, I guess. I don't know, just I guess very large media sources.
Media outlets, media channels.
Yeah, there you go. Like we emailed to all the big ones like Jim Sterling and Kotak Rock Paper Shotgun. Like just
YouTubers,
everyone we could think of. Didn't get a single response from them, which is not surprising.
Disheartening though. I mean, I feel you because we used to do this. I always had the same exact thing, but it wasn't at all. Wow, that's awesome.
No, because I understand that like the biggest. I mean, like it'll be great if someone like that covers your game because it's a lot of free press coverage. But the biggest, the best thing you can get is coverage from streamers and small YouTubers and stuff like that because it's just that you have your game's content there. Like you look through a lot of games on Steam and there's, you go to Twitch, nobody's streaming it. You go to YouTube and you can't find a video about it. And then you're like, well, how do I find out what the hell this game's about? Like we've already got between 10 and 15 videos on Aegis before release. And, lots of people have streamed it. And it's just nice that while you can't get into the hands of the huge media outlets, you can still get your game into the hands of plenty of streamers who are more than willing to play your game, and other media outlets as well, not just streamers. So it's not really disheartening. I actually think it's nice that more people are playing and covering the game than just like one super huge person.
And that's why they said yes when Fiona begged them to come on our show.
No, Rob. Play nice. But for certain, most certain, I think the strategies. They come back and forth. There's a give and a take. The big media outlets might not pay attention to the smaller developers, but there are plenty of independent media outlets out there like ourselves, and and other smaller media outlets that are absolutely always eager to help out a small game development studio, and always eager to help out the little guys and interband together and kind of watch the backs of one another, if you will. Let's do
absolutely.
a giveaway, guys. We got 3 keys. Let's give one away. Let's see who wins. Ready?
Roll the dice.
The winner is Ruin. I think this is how it's done, right, to be honest. Sharing love with people that want to stream content makes them keen to stream and promote the game with their enthusiasm. It can't be a bad thing. Yeah, I'm right with you on that one. That's absolutely 100%. Ruin, do me a favor and send me a private message through Twitch. You can just click on my name, and then there's a little icon for messaging there. It says Whisper. Click on that, and I will send you the key. We've still got 2 more keys to give away. 2. I got to make sure my 2 is in frame. 2 more keys to give away, and we'll do that as we move on a little bit later. Ever heard of Twin Saga? Has anybody heard of Twin Saga?
It's an anime.
I have not.
I have not.
I think it is an old anime. No, it looks like it's an anime MMORPG from Twin Realms, unsurprisingly.
I googled it super quick.
Yes, Ruin, you won. It's like, oh, I won! What a winner!
What a surprise.
Hey, Ruin, I will whisper you your key right now. We have 2 more keys to give away, you guys. So stick around if you want to win a key, because we've got 3. So stick around. Rob ran away. Rob's like, fuck you guys.
Rob didn't stick around.
Fuck you! I'm gonna do what you told me. Hey, Ruin, thanks for the follow, buddy. I I guess you have to follow me to DM me, and that's why you follow. Much appreciate. Either
the truth
way,
comes out.
right? Rip. So we will give you the first of these 3 keys. We have 2 more to give away. We are giving away keys for... There you go, Ruin. I sent it to you, buddy. We are giving away keys for the Aegis, the game that these fine folks that you're listening to talk right now on. They should be on the left side of your screen. Developed the gentlemen here who have developed the game Aegis, is top-down mech roguelite game. Really fun game, actually. Rob has a bladder the size of a thimble. Rob, your wife is throwing shade.
Yes, that is true.
I'm just lazy and break the seal.
Oh, I see how it is. Thank you very much as well, Ruin, for the follow. And yeah, so I mean, game development's hard. It's hard out there for a pimp, for lack of a better, euphemism. You guys have been. So this game has been in the works for how many months now? You said about 4 months, right?
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
5.
6 by the time we get to the end of our marketing stuff.
And I mean, working on it part time, that's nothing to shake a fist at. That's not a long time to produce a game. So.
Yeah, and also when we say part time too, that's like, I would say at least 80% of my time outside of work was spent. Maybe not 80, maybe like 70 was spent outside of work was spent on Aegis. So part time, but still lots of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it, is to spend the time you have available on it, the free time, and to not to spend all of your time on it, but to still keep it as a fun hobby. And so what do you think, you guys? Your next project, you're gonna be looking to spin off a next project and head towards full time, or do you really like doing this kind of as a hobby?
We're definitely looking for full time. I think Carson kind of talked about this before. When it comes to whatever, like sales come out of Aegis, which we're really not expecting a huge amount. It's the first game we've ever produced. It's pretty small. It's not even selling for very much, so we're not really expecting it to rake in big bucks. But having gone through this entire process once before, and I don't mean that from a game development standpoint. We've built games before. We've been doing it for a long time. Got that down. Thumbs up. But it's the whole process of getting onto Steam. We've never worked with Steam publishing before. We've never built a community like Carson had when it came to our Twitter following. We've never we incorporated a company and had to get bank accounts and all these kinds of things. That's all stuff that we had never done, and now that we've already have done it, stuff like creating a company, and B, having gone through it all when it comes to Steam, it's going to be like orders of magnitude easier the next time we go to do it. So we're really hoping that one day move into full-time work, even though we don't think Aegis is going to garner enough sales to give us enough capital in order to do that. We're hoping that it could at least act as a good kickoff point to maybe look into getting some kind of government grant, or maybe publishing, or just starting something new with a little extra money in the pocket. Who knows, right? That's
exciting. I mean, it's definitely, you guys need to keep an eye on these guys. They're going places. I think that Canada actually is really good for that as well, because there is some government grants you can get in Canada for development, and I know actually my former partner who runs Broken Joysticks now, she was able to get a grant for the site, like a $5,000 grant, or 5,000 Canadian grant, which isn't a ton, but it's enough to work for a little while without having to to pay bills. So it's always nice to have a little bit, right?
Yeah.
A little help.
Yeah. And we have some actually pretty good ones up here in Canada. A couple that we know of. One in particular we have our eye on. But there are a few grants, and it helps to get those sorts of things when you have something under your belt, to basically be like, look, guys, we've done it. We have made a game. We're not just a couple of guys looking to steal your money, sort of thing. Like we've already proved that we've got the ability to get it out of the way. Now we're just asking for the time we need to not shoot for a small game. Like Aegis was designed to be a small game. We might be able to scope it out a little bit more, or take more time with specific features. Like every time I look at Aegis, there's definitely things I'd be like, oh, I could have done that slightly differently with more development time. We could have really polished the crap out of whatever we're trying to build, and that's what we're aiming to continue to do for future games and projects, and hopefully eventually make a career out of it.
Exciting. Apparently someone is so cute. I don't know who she's talking to. All right, so let's do another giveaway. We've got 2 more keys. Hey, Luna! Congratulations, you are the next winner. And we've one more, so I'll pick one more.
Right.
And Yuna Yosuke, also winner. So if you do not win today, make sure that you check out the game, guys. It's going to be on Steam, released on Thursday, October the 6th. While I PM these people, these lovely people, their codes. Rob, if you have any more questions, or if you guys have anything else you want to chit-chat about.
So, Bo, you in for the long haul, or are you gonna have to go Craigslist searching again for your next gig?
I would love to stay off of Craigslist because I got really lucky that I wasn't axe murdered this time.
Still want to take the risk.
There's still time, so.
Well,
It's still
yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's true. I as soon as these guys want me to start working on some artwork stuff, I will start doing that.
Zenergy says he likes your trailer music.
They're in the chat. They can read
The
it.
one that was made by none of us here.
Oh, who made your trailer?
Jim Hall.
Yeah, that
Do we have a
other
link to
guy
his Twitter, Carson?
mentioned
the
earlier.
music, but the trailer was
Yeah.
made by Carson or
That's
Jordan?
true. The trailer was made by Carson, but the music was done by Jim.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have his Twitter somewhere. Should link that.
Yeah, you just go ahead and link it.
Yeah,
and
we
if you
should
have
plug
anybody you want to shout out, now's the time.
I'm sure it exists somewhere on the internet.
We're currently the number 12 talk show on Twitch, so thanks everybody out there who's watching. So now's the time to shout out your shit if you got shit to shout out.
We should make a shout out to our parents because if we don't, they'll stab us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you very much, Beaky, for coming out. Please enjoy. Go sleep and have a good day at school tomorrow.
School's overrated.
Yeah, shout out to your parents. My parents are a huge inspiration to me. I mean, do you guys have any major inspirations? Let's ask one last question. We have been on for an hour and 15 minutes, and these two guys, Jeet and Rob over there, haven't even talked at all about TwitchCon. So we have a whole nother segment. Stick around.
I mean, we don't have anything to talk about. I don't know why we're bothering, right? I mean,
Fuck you, you don't have anything to talk about. You just went to a convention. You better have some shit to talk about. All right. What else? Now I've forgotten my final question. God damn it, Rob. I'm so sorry.
It's all your fault.
Hashtag lack of professionalism.
Just blame Rob for everything.
Pretty much. Blame Rob.
Yes.
I don't know. So if you guys have anybody you want to shout out, now would be the time. Otherwise, game comes out Thursday. You can find them on Steam. We linked the URL a little bit farther up there, but just in case you didn't see it, there you go. By the way, does y'all want to take in what?
Yeah,
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, a trainee, as in someone.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like, not gonna say that word.
Just on that one.
That was a potential. I'm not sure if you're talking to us, or if you're talking to the guys from Aegis. If you're talking to the guys from Aegis, you're probably best to tweet at them. Their Twitter, they have their own Twitter and everything. So why don't you shout out at their Twitter, and they will be able to, I think, help you a little bit there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you have like a profile and for whatever you do, either programming or art or whatever, we'd be happy to look at it.
You have to work for peanuts, probably.
I mean, a lot of times. Looks like we did get a. Oh, not that one. I'm looking at the wrong Twitter. I hate TweetDeck sometimes. My face on TweetDeck. I mean, so hopefully, I'm hoping to see some great things from Innuendo Squad in the future. I'll be keeping my eyes on you guys, and we'd love to have you on the show again. Of course, always. You're always welcome on the show. Friends of the show are always welcome on the show. My teacher says I need to look in the field I wanted to join. Well, you'll never have a better opportunity than networking with small streamers. One thing that's really important, as either as media or as a streamer or as a game developer or as anything that is kind of you want to turn your hobby into your job, networking is really, really important. Maybe you guys can comment a little bit on that. But do you guys go to like local forums? How's the game dev scene in your area? I think it's probably pretty good, right?
We don't even pay attention to that, actually.
Well,
everything.
Speak for yourself.
That's okay. Maybe you do. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, everything that we've done, mostly, like everything that we've done, like via Twitch streams or YouTube videos or anything like that, has mostly been done via connecting with people on Twitter. And our dev blog as well. We've got a Reddit that we just post our dev stuff.
That has like 8 followers, but that's fine.
Yeah, I definitely saw the definitely saw that your Reddit is actually pretty nice. I'm kind of you know what? Actually, I do have one more question for you, and I keep asking you guys one more question. So if you have to go, let me know, because I keep asking one more question. So you guys got greenlit on Steam, which is something that isn't super easy to do. Tell us a little bit about that process, because you said it was your first time working with Steam. So I want to hear a little bit about that.
Who wants to take that one? You want to take that one, Carson?
I did not, because I had nothing to do with that.
I was gonna say, what's Bo have to say about this?
Yeah, we set up our Greenlight page. The trailer that was for the Greenlight page is not much different than the trailer you see on the Steam page now. Same music, stuff like that. It's just a little more roughed up. To be honest, Greenlight is actually the only thing throughout this entire process that has been like kind of a black box for us, or just I guess Valve in general. But like Greenlight, we actually have no idea how we got greenlit in 8 days, which is ridiculously fast compared to most games.
Got an email and you're like, oh, what?
Yeah, so we were in like the baking section of Costco, and then I was just like, Aegis has been greenlit, and we're just like high five in the middle of Costco, and people look like us like we're idiots, but like
That's awesome.
Everyone else is like, what?
yeah, it came as a complete surprise. So I mean, really, we speculate that it might have been that a Valve employee maybe like clicked on our social media stuff, and we've got a rather large Twitter following compared to a lot of people that post on Greenlight, so that might have factored into it a little bit. But I honestly, it's hard to say. Like it's hard to say how we got greenlit so fast, or the Greenlight experience is essentially just like present what you have in the best way possible.
That's interesting response. I don't think I've ever heard a response quite so vague and enthusiastic about Greenlight. A lot of developers are really down on Greenlight. They really don't think it's good.
No,
so
it's not.
Good to hear that it's as mysterious to people who get through it as it is to me, to myself.
I mean, another point about Greenlight too. It's just like it is a non-exact process. Like a lot of people think it's like, oh, you need this many yes votes, or at least this ratio, and then this total or whatever in order to cross the threshold to being greenlit. Greenlight is really Valve still accepts games on the Steams the same way they used to, which is they contact people basically directly and being like, or you contact them directly and be like, can I put my game on Steam? And they say yes or no and all that fun stuff, depending on whether they think you're worthy. And Greenlight isn't a service to put your game on there, have people vote for it, and then once you get a certain threshold, you're automatically in. It's used as a sorting tool by Valve employees. So when they're looking for games to then bring onto Steam, they search through Greenlight in order to find the ones that either seem the most interesting to them, and they might use the numbers of yes notes to no votes or whatever else to make that decision, but there is no set threshold to beat. It's just more like maybe one of the guy at Valve was feeling nice that day and he saw Aegis and thought it reminded him of MechWarrior and he was like, that's D, and just greenlit it because of reasons we don't. Sure, might have happened.
I mean, I wouldn't complain.
No, we're certainly not complaining.
I'm not saying a thing.
Yeah. When it came to Greenlight, it was like Carson said, it was the one black box, which means that it was the unknown. We had no idea how long it would take. We had always shot our release date to be for October the 6th, but we never specifically said October the 6th until we knew that we could commit to that date, and that wasn't even due to a game development thing. The game would have been finished on time. It just all depends on whether we were able to get through the Steam process in order to be able to actually release the game by that point. So we happened to get through it, so it's going to be releasing on the day we thought it would, which is awesome.
They're glad they got greenlit, so they don't have to stand on the corner and try and sell keys.
Pedal keys like crack.
Yeah,
it's a real hustle. It's a real hustle out there.
I'd buy it at over $3 though, just to see it's a virus or something, or is there anything to buy it on the street?
All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap. That's almost an hour and a half. You guys have been amazing. In case you just got here or haven't been paying attention or whatever, I don't know why you would not be paying attention. That's actually kind of silly. These are the Innuendo Squad. Are you guys officially called Innuendo Squad Inc., or are you called like Innuendo Squad Developers? Because your Twitter's at Innuendo Squad Inc.
Innuendo Squad Studios.
Innuendo Squad Studios.
Yeah.
So, and their game Aegis, which is what you see the label for in the back there, is available on Steam starting this Thursday. It's top-down, mech-based combat in a fully randomly generated roguelike style world, but that has save points, so you won't kill yourself out of frustration. That's all I got, guys. That's about wraps. Stick around if you want to hear about TwitchCon. I'm going to force Rob and Jeet to talk about TwitchCon for a little bit. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for coming out today, and really appreciate it. We hope we can talk. I hope I can talk to you guys again after Thursday, the successful launch. Thank you, Jordan and Carson and Boo. Bo or Boo? Bo.
Oh.
Bo.
Although, don't listen to anyone who says otherwise. They're wrong.
All right, everybody. That's going to wrap for us. I'm going to do another callback with just Jeet. So give me just a minute, guys, to get them back on the line. Thank you so much for joining us. Would any of you like to plug anything before we go?
Nope, you pretty much did all.
Aegis.
That's Bo does.
But we're doing that. So.
Yes.
I think Zenergy would like to know the name and song of the band in the trailer.
Yeah, I was gonna put Jim's SoundCloud.
This is the guy who did the trailer. So yeah, this is SoundCloud will be linked. You can just link it right in the chat. Actually, it might strip it. So if it strips it, send it to... No, there it is. Okay, it comes out. Good.
The song that's in that trailer was specifically made for Aegis for that trailer, so I don't think it even has a name. But yeah, Jim made it. And,
we will be selling the OST though, so
yeah, for like how much?
$1.
Oh, that's like
I guess 85 cents if you buy it alongside with the game. And then minus 10% again.
So you can get the game and you can get the soundtrack for less than $5.
Yeah. Yep. If that is something that interests you.
Very cool. All right, guys. Gonna hang up this call. Gonna call back Jeet and Robin. We'll just get a quick rundown about TwitchCon, and then we'll get you all out. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Oh shit! What up? Welcome back.
We're back. We're still here.
Look, now we've got the full-size face cams. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah. We can do a close-up.
Everybody who's still here. Well, hello there, Silent Killer Mad. Good to see you again. And yeah, it is a cheap game. It's really good. And thank you for being on with us, Innuendo Squad. You guys, you're great. And so...
Yeah, that was cool. A lot of fun. Be sure to stop by all of our streams and all that fun shit. And we'll keep chatting.
I mean, so this is Rob Logfett and Pirate Jeet, in case you guys didn't know already. Jeet is our set. We had two special guests tonight. Double special guests, which is very rare. Double special guests. Double toil and trouble guests. Yeah, work with us because we're kind of running on a.
Just get closer.
We're running on a bit of a half mic here. Robin's using a soup can. It's not a soup can, but it sure as fuck is close, guys. This is not our normal. This is
a high-tech fucking soup can.
This is obviously not our normal. Obviously not our normal setup, guys. This is in extraordinary circumstances. Rob is in sunny San Diego, right?
Yep.
Yes.
California. Hey, I just wasn't sure. So I'm gonna shut up, and these two guys are gonna talk a little bit about what it was like to be at TwitchCon. TwitchCon, in case you don't know, I don't know what you're doing on Twitch. You don't know what TwitchCon is, but TwitchCon is the.
You haven't heard of TwitchCon by now. What have you been doing on Twitch the last 3 days?
Right? TwitchCon is the annual convention that Twitch holds where they bring all their content creators and all the people that want to meet content creators and all the people that want to learn about content creation together. So we're going to swap I'll be interviewing these two guys. You guys tell me what it's like. I like this part just because Fox shuts up. Thanks, Bash, you motherfucker. Look, I got a big mouth, okay?
Good times.
Let the good times roll.
Yikes.
All right, so, and also, you guys got questions about TwitchCon? Throw them in the chat, and we'll get to them as we're blabbing about crap.
Zenergy has suggested that you pick up and hold the microphone because it's very difficult to hear you. So why don't you give that a try, and you can pass it back and forth as you speak.
Let me try something, actually, that might work better.
Hold on. Dude, technical difficulties music, quick.
Actually, we can't have any music because I got copyright struck for that. Remember when I played the trailer for...
Wait. We can because there's free, royalty-free music on Twitch.
How do we sound now? Is this okay? Is
That's
this better?
actually much better.
All right. Using another microphone.
What microphone is it?
My magical invisible microphone.
Sure.
Probably the one in the webcam.
Yes. It is.
Wow, that one actually works better.
Okay, so... Guys, tell us a little bit what it was like to be at TwitchCon. Take us there. Bring us to the experience. I'll sit back and shut up now.
I was actually surprised how big TwitchCon was. It actually,
I mean,
a lot of people.
Oh, wait, Rob, did you bought the headsets? Silent Killer Mad needs to know if you bought a headset.
Silent Killer has been bugging me about if I'm buying the goddamn headset for like 3 weeks.
Well, did you buy the goddamn headset or not?
No, I haven't. I do have a 15% code offer.
Corsair wasn't selling stuff at the...
Or I would have one and be like, hey, I got it. So I just got to order it online, and I'll probably order it to my house. So I'll have it by the time I get home.
Cool.
Yay, new wireless headset. But yeah, TwitchCon definitely a lot bigger than I kind of expected. They had they were essentially in like 1-2 areas of the convention center here in San Diego.
One hall.
They were in one hall, and they had the upstairs part as well. So it was 2 floors of stuff, about 8-9 panel areas. One was for industry and partner only, the Glitz Theater. That's why none of the panels that showed there appeared on Twitch. All of the other panels that did happen. No, I was the only beard there. I mean, I don't know what you're possibly thinking. There could have been other beards. But we do. Unfortunately, you can't go and watch the panels that were there on Glitch Theater. But all the rest of them, if you're interested, you can go check out. They've got them all archived on Twitch, even from last year. So you can actually check out all the panels for yourself, and you didn't have to miss a beat. LadyKit07 spent most of her last few days watching them, and she was utterly enthralled. And now she wants to like design websites or some shit. I don't know.
And they had panels on everything from how to help grow your community to even technical issues, and they also had one on copyright law and how to make sure you don't get GG'd by, that.
That was the name of the panel. Don't get GG'd by the law.
So they had everything. They had an educational row area they called where they had different streamers and different companies come in and show their products and explain how to actually set things up and to make your stream actually work well. So that was really interesting, some of that we learned.
Is it anything like an anime con?
Can't tell you because it's the first con I've ever been to. There was some cosplay. Really not. It's more, honestly, TwitchCon's kind of more like an industry kind of meeting than it is like a regular convention.
Half of Rob's face. Rob, stop leaning out of frame of the camera.
He keeps leaning to the left. Apparently I smell or something. Like
I'm left-handed. I just go this way naturally.
Did you touch any big-name streamers?
Well, I mean, I touch myself all the time. So.
I'm touching him now.
Exactly. No, actually, I was really. They did have some like meet and greet sessions set up, but we were kind of hoping they would be more like open forum kind of things. But it was like autograph lines. Like, well,
it's all lines.
That did kind of suck.
You guys did not have the benefit of having what I had. If you check out my Twitter at @TheonaFox or at @JoystickFox, you'll see that I had the opportunity at PAX East when I was in Boston to meet 2 of my favorite streamers, Oman-G, it's Firefox, and Jericho. We were interviewing the CEO of ARC, and we just happened to be hanging out at the ARC booth, and they walked by, and I was like, "Oh shit, fam, what up?" And that happened.
Yeah, no, we didn't have anything like that happen.
I thought Fiona was supposed to shut up for this part, and we were talking.
Meh, we'll let her talk.
I will fucking mute you, Rob. I have the god powers.
You hear that? She'll mute us.
Oh no!
But no, they did have a lot of big streamers, but we didn't really go to the lines to talk to them because the lines were huge. We did talk to we talked to quite a few of the indie developers there, and some of the other companies there. They had a big area dedicated just to indie games. It was really cool.
Yeah, basically when you walked in the main hall, the front left corner is just indie games. There's probably about 10 or 12 games right there set up.
More than that.
It's something like that. But they had a few that had kind of like 6-foot booths, and then a few were basically like one computer, and they'd have like the sign over top of it where it was.
So that's exactly like PAX's. PAX's indie area is exactly like that, where it's the bigger developers have booths for their games, but
exactly that's what they had here.
Yep.
Yeah, the kind of the other guys are definitely the smaller guys are a lot less. They just have like a computer and like a banner they printed at Staples.
Yeah. Kind of. It kind of felt that way.
But I mean, that doesn't take away from the fact that they're really.
They had some amazing games.
We'll get to some of the sweet indie games we got to actually play through, and they were tons of fun. You guys should totally check out, but we'll get there. But yeah, TwitchCon really kind of feels like if you've ever been to like an industry kind of meeting or industry convention, it kind of has more of that feel because in a way, everyone who streams is kind of a business unto themselves, and we're all kind of looking out from a very different perspective as going to an anime convention and be like, oh, my favorite anime and all the sweet merch. I mean, there's still sweet merch,
People were going insane for the
God.
Twitch merch that they were selling.
Basically, by the end of today, they had about the stuff that was in the display case.
Not even that.
Everything else was gone.
God, yeah, they were selling out of stuff within like the first hour or two of it opening.
It was
insane.
crazy. So
Silent Killer Mad asks, what was the best thing in TwitchCon?
I mean, Annie Ann's. Oh yes. If we have to pick one thing, that was probably Jeet and I agree on here.
I'm gonna hold it up closer so we can read it.
Viking Squad.
Backwards, apparently.
No, let's not give them too much free publicity.
No, but it was there's an awesome game.
It was a great game.
The devs for it were amazing and fun to talk to. So they were a lot of fun to talk to. And just a lot of the people we met and just networking with everyone, that was probably the best part, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it was really fun talking to just the different devs for all the indie games, and even some of the people at the bigger booths. It was just fun just to talk to and see a lot of the cool gear, and actually get to try on, like HyperX was there and they had all their headsets you could try on, and Corsair had all their keyboards and mice and all sorts of other stuff. So a lot of cool gear. Turtle Beach was there. Razer wasn't, which was kind of disappointing.
Which makes no sense because they tweeted that they were there, so I was like super confused.
They had people there, but they didn't have a booth.
Yeah, there was definitely no Razer booth. There might have been some Razer people there.
Oh, they don't usually have a booth at cons. That's not how they roll. They just send people to the conventions.
Well, they certainly weren't standing out.
I didn't see anyone wearing
like
Razer stuff.
I saw a couple of like Razer bags and stuff, but it was like random people carrying them. It wasn't like
they don't have a booth at PAX's either. What they do have is a booth at E3 because they're a vendor.
Yeah.
I don't think they had a booth at the PAX either, which was weird to me. I was really confused about that. But,
yeah, that's kind of weird.
Honestly, Zen, I don't really remember seeing the word Amazon very many places.
In case you're wondering why Zen is asking that rather strangely phrased question, the Twitch was purchased by Amazon a few weeks ago and has just begun to integrate many Amazon things into Twitch. In fact, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you're now getting Twitch Pro or whatever it's called.
Prime. That's actually one of the big announcements they had there.
Yeah. Here we go. This is all the Twitch Prime benefits you get if you have Prime.
It's actually pretty neat. You also get a whole free subscription every month.
Yep.
Yeah, you get a
free subscriber.
Yeah, so you can give somebody a subscription that you like. They give you like there's codes for, I think it was I can't remember. You get some free codes for different games every month.
Isn't there a Hearthstone champion or something?
Yeah, I think it was Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, you get a card. There's a card for this month.
There's also
so they're giving away stuff from Blizzard? That's fucking weird.
Yeah, they're also giving away a game that right now you get it's called Streamline. You get that for free.
Streamline, by the way, guys, is a really fun game. If you
check that out, it's actually really cool.
Have a chance to take a look at it. The best way that I can explain it is that it's a platformer that feels like a Japanese game show.
Yeah, kind of.
It's designed to be ridiculous.
Yeah, we can't explain it to you. Just go check out Streamline and then go.
You'll probably see us streaming it.
Yeah, we'll stream it at some point. If you do have a Twitch Prime, there we go. Stop. It is the free game for this month, so go connect your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account and download Streamline and then start playing.
How do you get to Streamline to download it? Because so I've already connected my account, for example. So do I go to Amazon and search for Streamline?
No, it was on Twitch. Hold on, I'll find the link.
Yeah, Pirate did it yesterday, so just give him 1 second.
Okay, so after you go to the Twitch Prime site and you hit connect to your account, your Prime account, you'll see there's a button that says see loot or claim your free loot, and you click that, and it's really weird because it'll take you back to Twitch, and on the left side you'll see a little tab like in that menu on the far left. It'll be above your name, but below the normal menu options.
Oh, I see.
Claim, yeah, and then you claim your stuff. Then you claim your Streamline with 24 pieces of Prime exclusive gear, and then you download the game.
Yep.
And then there's a skin for Ymir,
for Smite,
and then there's a hero for Hearthstone, which is the card.
They are also including the
weapon skin and paladins apparently for high res.
So something that some of folks may not necessarily know is that if you are an Amazon Prime member, every single... Now, I don't want you to pre-order games, because I don't like pre-ordering, but every single game that you pre-order, you get 20% off forever.
Yep. Anything pre-ordered on Amazon, it's one of the bonuses.
And I mean that's console games, PC games, that's everything.
Oh, also, yeah, that's why you guys have been seeing these crowns. That's the Twitch Prime.
Also, Ripperoni, Silent Killer Mad, I'm so sorry that Amazon Prime is not available in your country. How do you fucking live?
You can also buy Twitch. I think Twitch Prime is like $10 a month.
Yeah, you can buy also just straight up Twitch Prime.
Or I think it was like $10 a month.
Yeah.
Guys, we are dropping frames like nutso here. So let's go ahead and keep talking about TwitchCon. But if we drop down, guys, I apologize. It is... it's some weather outside, possibly, and so my internet is freaking out. We're dropping frames, so it's not disconnecting yet, but it is dropping some frames. So if you see that, yep. And of course, it's $10.99. Rob, your wife corrects you. It is $10.99.
He said it.
Rob said it.
Okay, so and then you get the normal Prime benefits, TVs and movies and ad-free songs and 2-day shipping. But
that's only if you have Prime.
That's if you have Prime. If you have Amazon Prime. But yeah, you can get the Twitch Prime, and anyone that has it will have the little blue and white crown there that you see next to his energy and pirate's name when they're in the chat, so you can be extra special in chat now. And if you're a mod, you have a sword and a crown, so you're the king of Twitch Prime.
And also, if you have the Twitch Prime, you don't have ads.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't see ads anymore?
That's what it said.
Yeah, there are no ads at all on Twitch. No Twitch ads.
Turbo.
Oh. Okay.
So you get like some of the benefits of having Turbo.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Like that.
It's Twitch Turbo. So
yeah, it's some extra.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Drop 6 beats, not frames.
Stream looks okay here. Oh, that's good. I wasn't really sure, so...
So that was Twitch's really big announcement that...
and they're going to be letting you upload videos.
And now you can upload videos to Twitch. It's not exactly YouTube. You guys can go look into it if you actually care.
Better than YouTube.
Don't count YouTube out just yet.
We'll see what it has.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd love to see what it does and how it works.
Yeah, they just announced it, so I mean, how it happens and what we do, how it actually works and what it will look like. It's still pretty up in the air. We'll just have to see. But yeah, that was Twitch's huge. Here's our big thing is Twitch Prime. So.
Guys, there have been a lot of competing services to YouTube in the past.
They've all done pretty hard.
They have all been terrible. Understanding that YouTube isn't just about video, it's also about their transcoding and their ability to very quickly process video and other things. Now, Amazon is behind this, so it's not like there's not going to be a lot of server power. What's the sleeping arrangement there? Are you cuddling for warmth?
Well, I mean, it doesn't get cold in California,
no, so... we can't give all of our secrets away.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fucking kick. Rob Ponytail.
You didn't know I had a ponytail? Like, I always have one.
Stream the back of your head.
Yeah, do I need to start, profiling my streams?
Just stream the back of your head?
That's it. Just stream the back of your head for an entire day.
God, that would be amazing.
All right. Guys, we're bleeding viewers, and we're off topic, so unless you've got anything else you want to say about TwitchCon, we'll probably wrap up for the night. This has been a really, really long show, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll get the VOD up as quick as I can. Rob's hair is longer than yours now.
It is. She got her shirt.
As it should be. Thanks for sticking around. We'll get this VOD up, of course, absolutely on for the...
Anything about that, Bash? I don't think so, but they could. I mean, that seems like a pretty logical thing to do.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. To be able to have a streamer put their Amazon wish list up.
They do have the wish list. People do put wish lists, and they can get people order stuff for them like that.
Yeah, maybe
I've seen that, but
make it more
I don't think it's integrated with Twitch.
Yeah, not yet.
All I can say on that matter is that Twitch has been more and more deeply integrating with other things, with other services, and they've shown a clear ability and a clear want to play with other services. Developers and other things. They want to play with other. They want Twitch to network with other stuff.
Yep.
There's an API out there already, and people continue to utilize it in unique and creative ways. It's not something that I would expect necessarily everything to have, but as we get more and more stuff, there's going to be more and more exciting things you can do with Twitch. Now that Amazon is a part, or they actually think about the whole company. So
not in partner, in ownership of.
And it's not about a lot of people were down on the Amazon purchase. They were like, well, Amazon's going to ruin Twitch. Well, maybe we should before we decide Amazon's going to ruin Twitch, maybe we should go ahead and let Amazon have a little bit of a.
Yeah, and they've owned them for quite a while now, actually.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything with them.
No, they haven't done
Not
anything
at
yet.
least, yeah. Nope,
I mean,
not-
for the first thing for them to roll out this Twitch Prime thing is fucking amazing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would never subscribe. I would never subscribe to a Twitch channel. There's a lot of Twitch people that I like, who I support, but I'm not gonna. I don't have enough time to watch streams to subscribe to anybody. But now that I get one for free, of course I'm gonna throw a subscription at somebody. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
And they get all the benefits of that, 1 month of subscription, so $5.99 or whatever it is, $4.99, I think.
It varies, I think.
I think it does vary, but-
Twitch is really secretive about how much those people actually get of that, too.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you see a subscribe button, it's like $4.99 and it's, the minimum or whatever. But yeah, I mean, so you get to support somebody basically for free. I don't think YouTube is dying at all. It might be.
It's different.
It's a very different animal than Twitch.
The thing about YouTube is that they provide, like I said, so much more than just the video service. They're also doing transcoding. They're stepping up your video to higher and lower resolutions for free. They're changing. They're providing this amazing delivery method. They're doing all of these things that no other service does. Vimeo doesn't do it. LiveLeak doesn't do it. Confirm that my dog is lesbian. Bash all lesbians are the best, so that's awesome. I don't really know what that has to do with the game, but
That's bash for you.
Who knows?
That's bash for you.
that's bash for you, Famalam. I, at the very least, will have to be wrapping up this call because I got to go to work in the AM, and I still got a lot of shit to do. There does need to be another competitor to YouTube. I agree, but it's super hard to get.
Yeah, when you're going up against something so powerful, it's like
That's hard.
it's really
late in
hard
the
to
game.
yeah.
Understanding the sheer amount of server and other space required to match YouTube's current ability to process video, it just is immense. YouTube is a gigantic fucking service.
And it's a huge entity, and I mean, there's been cross because you can stream on YouTube, of course, now, and now with Twitch, announcing you'll be allowed or able to upload to Twitch. I mean, we'll see. I mean, both of these giant companies aren't going to take each other's moves sitting down, so might be a few interesting next couple of months. See what kind of counter move Google rolls out to.
Luna, there does need to be more communication between teams working on YouTube, and I can tell you one thing for sure that is like one of the bigger things about YouTube is that their entire stack is in Python. If you don't know anything about programming languages, Python is difficult to work with. Is not the right word to say, but it's not the most
Intuitive.
nimble language. It's just tough to work with, to be honest. I know a lot of people who are developers for a living. That's what they do. That's their profession. And they all almost universally hate Python.
Yeah, Python really shines when, for processing data, it's like an in-between step for things.
YouTube is probably the only top 100 websites on the internet. I would safely venture a guess that YouTube is the only one whose full stack develops in Python.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Watch Blue Drake 42 to learn how to make your own YouTube. I have my own YouTube, actually. YouTube.com/VirginiaKid89, because they won't let me change the fucking URL.
You have to have 1,000 subs to be able to change it.
Yeah, I'm only fucking 995 away. Or something
So everyone
like
go
that.
sub her.
Yeah, go sub Fiona,'s thing so she can change her name.
Fucking lol. I haven't even uploaded anything to YouTube in the last few weeks because I've been so busy. I was working on there it is. If you really want to see it, I was working, and that's obviously we have 14 subscribers. The show goes up there every week after after the show ends. It gets put up there. This one will take quite a lot of time because it's
It's a direct from Twitch. It doesn't take that long.
Oh fuck! Did I just get a direct retweet from actual Twitch? There's no way that's a real thing.
What?
There's no way it's a real thing. Quick, everyone to Twitter.
Nope, it's Twitch at Twitch retweets. Bastard! I thought I was from actual Twitch. I almost fucking died.
I was just going to the Twitch Twitter too to check.
I almost fucking died right there, dude.
Fiona almost died.
Oh, and an animator. Awesome. Follow. A lot of new followers on Twitter tonight. So if you're out there and you're watching and you're lingering, or we're slowly bleeding. We're slowly bleeding followers away, or so viewers away. We're down to 12. We were up to like 17, 18 at one point.
We had a max of 18.
We peaked at the number 12 top Twitch talk show on Sunday night. So thank you all.
That's good. Sunday night.
Yeah, we're doing good,
Thank
man.
you all very much for coming out to watch. I'm gonna wrap unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about from TwitchCon.
I think that's good for now. We
can dive into more of it.
If you guys have any questions, now is the time.
Lots of cool indie games. Some pre-alpha stuff that looked really cool. We got to mess around with a bit. Streamline's awesome. We got to get our hands on Nidhogg 2, which was fun.
Oh god, that was hilarious.
And Nidhogg 2 was hilarious. Go check that out. There's a game called Tooth and Tail you all should really go check out. Also really cool. They're in an alpha stage. It's a very well done pixel art game. It's not made to be retro. It's just they made assets and then basically turned them into pixels.
So the real question, fam, did you get any Twitch swag?
I mean, I got some shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't get it licensed.
Well, we didn't get... Twitch itself wasn't giving out much swag.
Yeah,
we got swag from all the other companies.
Yeah, there was no free Twitch swag.
No, they were selling all
You
their
gotta
stuff.
buy the Twitch swag. Did you get me anything?
I mean, I get you like a coaster or something if that's cool.
Damn, fam.
Coaster, damn.
That's it. You're out of the website. You're done. I'm cutting you out.
Oh!
We have a big bag of swag.
Yeah, we got some bags, a couple of T-shirts, a lot of cool programs too that
for streaming.
That we are, yeah. If you're a streamer yourself, a lot of cool streamer programs, cloud-based stuff, and a couple that'll be interesting for us. Be able to enable us to do some cool stuff.
Yes.
Down the line. So.
All right, guys, plug your Twitters and let's get out of here.
I'm RoboFett at Twitter. Bag of swag. Bag of swag.
Swag a bag. All right, so you've been watching the show with no name. This has been our special Aegis episode. Fuck it, I'll get rid of the Aegis logo now. We don't have a background at all. It's just eternal blackness and death forever.
Just like our lives.
Exactly. Thanks for coming out to the show tonight, guys. Really appreciate everybody coming out. I am Fiona Fox at Joystick Fox on Twitter. That's at RobLogFett. RobLogFett, in case you didn't know that was his name. And sitting next to him in the Jurassic Park shirt is Jeet.
Holy fucking shit. It's a dinosaur.
All right. With the South Park reference.
We're going to scare everyone away.
We already did.
All right, guys. That's it for us for tonight. Thanks for coming to hang out. This VOD goes up on YouTube. Make sure you check out Rob's stream.
It's really hard because, again, mine's over here.
When are you going to be back to streaming, Rob? Monday or Tuesday?
Hopefully Tuesday night. Well, I fly out Monday night, so I'll be back Tuesday morning. Hopefully the hard drive arrives and I'm able to actually get something on my hard drive so I can stream.
His brand new hard drive completely died.
Yep. My wife went to go turn it on. She's like, "You need to call me right now." And I call her. It's like, "Your hard drive died. I can't figure it out." So yeah, it was bad. So once again, needing a hard drive. It's like 2 months old, so it's kind of, I don't want to say normal, but within normal parameters of shit breaking, I guess.
All right. So Rob, we'll see you on Tuesday hopefully, and Jeet streams occasionally.
Or I'm going to be doing a mobile stream. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to stream something from my phone.
I'm keeping Jeet very busy right now doing back-end website work, so he may not be streaming this
Bring
week.
the whips!
All right, guys, that's a wrap, and peace.